All right, recording has started. Okay, all right. Hello, and welcome to Blended Voices with Tonya Ford. How you doing on this Thursday? I am hyped. I am geeked. What? I don't know. Yeah, well, yes, I do. I'm still breathing and I'm still alive. So, hey, there you go. How y'all doing, everybody? This is Tanya Rouse with Blended Voices, and I'm so excited that you guys are here with me and you're back. Um, I tell you, last week we got into that conversation about cohabitating without that marriage certificate. So we are going to revisit that again today because there's so much involved with the complexities of living together without that certificate, especially if you have family that don't particularly care about you and don't like you. Uh, especially for different cultures and everything, it's frowned upon that you're moving in before you get married. Um, so there's a lot of different aspects here that we can kind of talk about. But last week we talked about a lot of stuff. So let me tell y'all, Blended Voices here, okay? It's a safe space you can come to, and we're gonna talk about all kinds of topics, okay? The ones pretty much that maybe I've had some experience in, okay? So like, let me just kind of go over some because my glasses. The older you get, you know what, my sister, I'm calling you out. KK, I'm calling you out because my sister, I have six older sisters. And my sister told me when I turned 40, I was gonna need glasses and all this other stuff. And I was like, So when I'm 56 now, I'll be 57 in a couple of months in July. And it's like I was just holding out. I did not want to get no glasses. Okay. So it's like I had to get the readers at first and wore them things down to the barium till I could see no. Then I had to make an appointment for my husband and myself. Went to the doctors and oh my God. Looked at this eye exam, which I have not been to in a long time. Go to the doctor every year, but they just do the little test. So they did all they love testing, poofing your eye and look at this red light and read this and all that kind of stuff. And after that, she came back and said, you got cataracts. What? Said cataracts. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. Okay. Now, and I mean, oh, I'm thinking like 80 and 90. Okay. Like, older. I'm 56. Cataracts. So my eyes, I've had my surgeries. My first one I had on January 31st. My mom and grandma's birthday. May they rest in heaven. And on February 12th was my second one. So I have to learn how to work these new eyes, like I said, and I still need them for uh to read. But I'll tell you, I had that surgery and immediately I could see. It was no blurry vision, not it was clear. Then I started looking around my house and looking around stuff, and it's like, whoa, it's a lot of stuff I need to do. I don't see all of that. More go get your eyes checked every year. Okay. So, like I was saying, Blended Voices, I'm so happy to create this space here because, we're going to talk life be life. And like I said, life be life and stuff is going to happen. And you need a safe space where we can come talk about it and encourage each other and inspire each other and empower each other. Things are going to happen in life. It's all about how you're going to respond to it. Okay. So it's going to happen. Stuff going to happen. What are you going to do about it? Okay, so you're gonna let it just knock you down, and you don't get up again, or you fall off a bike. You fall off a bike, you get up and you get back on that bike and you keep going. Okay. Now, if you fall off a 30,000 foot mountain, should have been up there in the first place, probably. And if you ain't coming back from that one, so I'm just saying, if something happens in your life, you don't give up. Okay. You keep going. God has a plan for you. Okay. He has a plan for us all. And if we're still living, if you can hear my voice, That's saying, you know what? God still has a plan for you. Because see, if you were not supposed to still be here, let me tell you something, you wouldn't be. My mother died at she was 50, 31 years ago. I've already surpassed her age. You know, she died of cancer. And her assignment, I guess, to God, he wanted her back. So you never know. We don't know what our last days are or anything like that. So let's try to be kind to each other and get all the messiness and BS and stuff like that. My goodness, I pray for this country. Pray for people. Prayer works. Okay. So don't sit up here and tell me why I'm talking about cohabitation without no marriage certificate after I just talked about God. Okay. All right. Don't I don't want to hear that. I don't. All right. So I'm not saying people do that. Okay. I'm just saying here's what some different ways of how what you can do before you make that kind of step because you don't have any safeguards. You have no legality whatsoever if you don't not married and you're in a relationship and you're living together. So I'm trying to help you. I really am. Okay. And I'm trying to help because I've seen it too many times. With my background in the life insurance industry, I'm a former stockbroker, professional in the medical field. I was a realtor, a wedding officiant. It's like all these areas, I've met a lot of people. And I tell you, I've seen a lot of things. Okay. So this is what has all made me put my book together, Past, Present, and Peace. I talked about that last week. I'm talking about that again today. And to try to help people so we're not just angry. Okay. Things sometimes don't go right, but it's because a lot of times it might be your fault it didn't go right because you didn't plan it right or you didn't talk about certain things before you jumped into that relationship. Now, like I told y'all last week, yes, I did. My husband and I did live together before we got married. I'm on my second marriage. My first marriage didn't work. I got married in my 20s. Didn't know what the heck marriage was. I just wanted a pretty wedding. I really did. My favorite color is purple. It was beautiful. Y'all should have been there. But anywho, nice guy. Really, he was a really nice guy. Just you know, and so you get divorced. You're in your 20s. You do stupid stuff. 20s, you do stupid stuff. When I left Michigan, because I'm from Michigan, in 2000, I moved to Indianapolis. Then I moved to Virginia, and then I came to Atlanta in 2005. So I've been here 20 years. Okay. And during that 20 years, my husband and I have been together for 12 years, but I was engaged to someone a couple years prior to meeting my now husband. Okay. And here's my thing. My first husband, we moved in together before we got married. This is just something I want to do because of the simple fact, yes, we're getting married. You've asked me to marry you. Now we're moving in to test compatibility. And I'm looking at, I always plan the weddings, like I said, year and a half, 2 years out. Plan them out. You live together because that's how you gonna really get to know somebody. Okay. And I know, but let me tell you something though. It's a lot of pitfalls with that because yes, you can learn a lot about a person, but also there's a lot of things that could happen that person won't end up marrying you because you did move in with them. So let me go with some pros and cons. Okay, let's do that. Let's go with the pros and cons of moving in together, um, cohabitating without their marriage certificate. Like I said, I'm trying to help y'all. Anywho, so let's go over some. What do we want to do first? The pros. Yes. For the happy stuff. Let me put the glasses on. I'm working in your eyes. Okay. So here's some pros to cohabitating without that certificate. Okay. That marriage certificate. Financial benefits. Okay. Absolutely. You got two people in the house. Living expenses such as rent, utilities, groceries can be more economical than just living separately. Y'all dating, and you got a house over here, I got a house over here. We be seeing each other every day. We together, so why not, move together? Not saying do that. I'm just saying that was one of the pros. Okay. Another problem, test compatibility. That's what I just said. Okay. So when cohabitation provides an opportunity to learn about each other's habits, preferences, and lifestyle, and helping to assess long-term compatibility. You really get to know a person when you live. You do. Now, let me tell y'all though, statistics said, and I said this last week, if you do move in with somebody prior to marriage, the divorce rate is like 40% higher. Okay. So you got to keep that in mind too. I'm gonna go over some stuff where you go over some things with you, why that may be. Okay. Now, flexibility is another one here. Okay. So without the legal formalities of marriage, couples can have more freedom to separate if the relationship does not work out. Let me say that again. Okay. We're talking about flexibility. Yeah. Oh, we're not married? I'm done. I'm out the door. No legalities. We ain't got a court. We ain't got to get no lawyers. We ain't got to file no for divorce. We ain't do none of that. Why? Because it was never married to you in the first place. So that is what could happen. They're flexible. What other thing? Less pressure. Less pressure. I found this one. This one was a little interesting. And this is about culture. Certain cultures, it is frowned upon to move together before you're married. Right? So less pressure. Some couples sometimes feel less society, well, feel less pressure, I'll say. When living together without marriage, because it's allowing them to build their relationship at their own pace. You're not letting people rush you. When y'all getting married? Y'all been together this long. When y'all, all that kind of stuff. It's on you and that your spouse's, oh, not spouse, I'm sorry, but you and the other person's pace. Y'all do it on your own pace. And not everybody asking you when y'all gonna get married and stuff. Okay? So tell them to go kick rocks. All right. Okay. And then also share responsibility. Now, share responsibility, y'all share the bills. Partners, y'all partners and everything, or share whatever. Y'all living life together, y'all building something. So that's and then how you rectify situations, how you deal with arguments, how you deal with bills, how you deal with all the situations that comes with the complexities of a relationship. Okay. If there's no marriage there, it's like I said, it's easy. They can just walk out the door, If it's marriage, that it's more of a commitment. Okay, you can't just walk out the door. You have to go through a little something. Or unless you're ready to just give up everything. My first marriage, I was like, hey, you can have a house. You have everything. I'm taking my car, taking my clothes, taking that. I'm all right. It was nothing, no abuse or nothing like that. It was just I was young and naive and wanted to get married. And then I didn't want to be married because I didn't know what was. I didn't see that growing up. And that's another issue we're gonna talk about. Okay, y'all. So those are some of the pros. Okay, so let's talk about the cons of cohabitating. Okay, lack of legal protection. I'm sorry, lack of legal protection. Yep, no protection whatsoever. Living together without marriage often provides your legal rights and protections in case of separation, inheritance, or decisions that have to be made in the emergency, in case of emergency. Now, I talked to you guys about this last week about if you're living together, about, if something happened to you and you're incapacitated, who's going to speak for you? Probably a lot of the times the person that you're living with is going to do that. So, but if they don't have the right, because your family can come right in and say, hey, get the heck on out of here. Y'all ain't married, so I'm calling the shots. So again, this is why the 3P Past Present Peace workbook, one of the reasons I put that together It has a cohabitation agreement in there. Okay. That means y'all cohabitating, y'all gonna figure out who gonna do what, where, when, how, all that kind of stuff. If something is bought, is this a gift? If it is something you trying to take with you when you leave, all of that kind of stuff. I know it's not a sexy subject. It's not. Be smart, people. There's so many people out here that's going to jail because of nasty breakups. And they get in their feelings and their emotions and all that kind of stuff. When you're there, you don't be thinking about nothing. You just going in. So I'm trying to get you some protection. If you get that mad, hopefully you don't have to get that mad because you know, oh, I forget. I got the past president piece. But that it's already signed. He already told me this was mine. These tires was mine. Okay. She already told me that she was gonna give me this back if this happened. Okay. So it's mad because they, breaking up is never easy. Me, yeah, you don't love me. I'm sorry. You don't love me, that's fine. I'm keep moving, okay? I love myself and God loves me and my husband loves me. But I'm saying if somebody had to come and be like, I don't want to be with you anymore. Well, maybe you say less. Say less. Okay, so like I was telling y'all last week, my past, present, and peace workbook. Okay, and this has everything. Can y'all see it? The design, past, present, and peace. And the LLT Institute stands for my company name, which is Life, Legacy, and Transformation. And in Blended Voices, I do business Blended Voices under that company. Okay. So this book here has the cohabitation agreement in it. When I just talked about one of the cons, I said I was going to dive deeper into that, was no legal. You have no legal rights at all. Okay. So lack of legal protection. So here's something right here that I talked to you guys about last week. If somebody is incapacitated and they can't speak for themselves, they got an accident, whatever, they're in ICU, they can't speak, who's going to speak for them? And this doesn't have to be a spouse. This can be a parent. This could be a child. This book works for everybody. Let me put it that way. Okay. So if they're under 18, of course, their parents got them. But if you're over the age of 18 and you're not living with your parents or you're out or whatever, somebody needs to be able to speak to you if something happens. Now, the reason I put this book together was because of COVID. If y'all don't remember how many people died from COVID, how many people were in the hospital on ventilators. I told y'all two of my very, 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 very good friends, family to me. One was in the hospital. She was husband and wife. 2 months. He was in there for 136 days on the ventilator. And they're girls. They're grown. Okay, everybody's grown, but they're running around trying to figure out what to do. What to do? What do we do with their wishes? How do they want this to be carried out? How are the bills supposed to be paid? Where are the bank accounts? What's the codes? What's the numbers? How much is it? What are we supposed to do right now? Because they can't speak for themselves. It's rare that you get both of them that's in the hospital because the other one can, okay, this is what we got to do. But when you have two, COVID came, that was ugly. It's very ugly. So that's why I put the three people, the past, present, and peace workbook in it, because it has everything from your past in it. I'm not talking about the stuff you did in the day when you was partying and all that kind of stuff. Okay. I'm talking about your past as far as your health history, medications you're taking, surgeries you've had. Are you allergic to anything? Okay. I'm talking about, are you taking any medications? I'm talking about all those kind of things because those things can help save your life in the instance you can't talk to yourself and the doctors don't give you something that you're allergic to. Okay, so now you have a living will and healthcare power of attorney in the book. And you're going to talk to whoever it is you want, because it's only one person or two at the most you need to get his information to, because it's not supposed to be used until something happens to you, except the cohabitation agreement. That's all you need to do right away. Okay. But it is so difficult to try to make decisions what you think might be the best thing for your parents. If you haven't had that, let me tell y'all something. Let me tell you something. That is the hardest conversation had. And I told y'all this last week with my mom. We found out in March she had cancer. She died in May. And when I tell you she went through those stages so fast, because at first it was the hurt, she was crying. I would try the chemo. She tried one thing of chemo. And then she said, I'm not gonna do it anymore. I'm sorry, y'all. Sorry. Okay, so she set us around the bed and she said, hey, I want to be buried at this funeral home. I don't want y'all fighting. I don't want y'all tripping. I don't want y'all doing any of that kind of stuff. I want to be buried in sky blue. She told us absolutely everything. And for you to sit around and hear your mom say that, because they know people that's about to die, they know. She just wanted us to be okay and not to have to worry about stuff. And we didn't have to make the decisions as far as, okay, what we're going to put her in, where should we go and all that kind of stuff, because she told us. That's what the book is for. That's what this book is for. Okay. You write that stuff down so your kids, your spouse, your parents, your kid, whoever it is, don't have to make those decisions for you. They're already hurt. They're already, you know, in a situation because you're gone. And let's not talk about life. Don't get me started on life insurance, because if y'all ain't got no life insurance policy in here, we gonna have some problems. Okay, we need to stop thinking of everything else as important except the life insurance. All right, you're gonna leave that on your family. They're already grieving that you're gone, and now they got to figure out how to pay for this. Stop it. So you got to live in healthcare power of attorney in here. It's not easy to fill this. It's not easy to fill this stuff out because you're thinking about your mortality. But much easier you think it's going to be for your family to try to figure this stuff out. Don't do them like that. Don't do that. Okay? It's not about, oh, I'm going to die. You don't know. We all going to die one day. Just don't know when. So you got that information that you can put in it. And life insurance policies, people who are living together that especially have children, okay, and y'all not married, here's what I'm going to say. If he won't give you his last name, the least he can do is you get a life insurance policy on him and you be the owner of it. If something happened to him, you and the kids are taken care of. Okay? You don't want to give me a last name? You're going to make sure something happened to you. I'm taking care of these kids taking care of. Yeah, that's in here too. And when I tell you all my backgrounds and stuff I've been through, I've got everything in this book. Everything. I have a living will. Okay. Let me tell you about wills though. This is my financial industry I've been in. It's something. It's a start because a lot of people don't even have that. But with a will, everybody will know your business. Okay. But it is a start. It's a start. If you don't have anything, it is a start. Okay. But remember, wills, everybody will know your business, and you still got to go to probate court. Okay. I have a trust account, trust paperwork. If you want to trust, now trust, think of that as fault. Okay. You put it in, you close it up. Don't nobody have the code, the secret, the key, or nothing but you and whoever you tell. And then nobody can see that. And there's two types of trusts, revocable and irrevocable, but I'm not going to go into all of that right now. Okay. So uh, revocation of a living will. Now, what that means is, or in revocations of power of attorney too. So, say you have written this down, how you want your health care to be carried out if something happens to you. Okay, that was done. Now you're better. You ready to go home? Okay. So now we got to get this person name on here that's making your healthcare decisions off. Okay, because now you're in your right mind and you're healthy and stuff to do things yourself. So I have the paperwork in there, verification, so that now, okay, I'm fine now. Let me go ahead and, take your. You might try to get me back in the hospital. So now I'm just playing with that. Hopefully, some people crazy nowadays. Okay, we just gonna keep praying. That's all we. Okay, so revocation of will. All right. So what else do we have as a con? Uncertain commitment levels. Ooh, wee. Let me tell you about that one. Okay, listen. Now, for some, cohabitation might suggest less commitment, okay, than marriage. Yes, yeah. Some guys or some people will they'll play that role. They'll be like, you know what? You've been bugging me, been together. Okay, so let me go ahead and move in with her or with him, and that'll buy me a couple more years. They do that. They do that just to shut you up. Okay, just let you know. That'll buy me a couple more years. But let me tell you something about men. Our husband told me this too. Men know immediately if you're someone they're gonna marry. They know. It don't take them years. It don't take them, my husband asked me to marry him in like 4 months, but I set the wedding out 2 years. Okay. They know. So if you're with somebody, you've been with them for a long time, and you're just uncertain about the commitment level, you should never feel uncertain about a relationship that you're in. It should be crystal clear what we're doing. Where are we going? Are we going forward or are we going separate? What are we doing? I'm not going to sit here and give you all these good years and I could be with somebody who loves me, treasures me, challenges me, and want to be with me, want to call me his queen, you know, got his last, I'm proud to say, hey, this is my wife, Mrs. Ford. It don't take men long to figure that out. So if you're with someone for years, you got to be asking yourself a question, why? Okay. The whole, oh, well, ain't nothing out there. How do you know that? Because you got somebody that's with you, you've been with all this time. How do you know what's out there? You got a person just what as they used to say, younger cock blocking. Okay. That's, if you don't want to be with that person and you know it and it don't take long, if you love them, let them go. Because I guarantee you there's somebody out there that will love them, that will cherish them, that will be there for them, that's going to be everything that they want. But they're not in that relationship because they there with you. So I can't blame it on the people that's just letting it. I'm gonna sit back. If she don't say nothing, I'm just gonna sit back and chill. That's the problem. Okay. I asked this just the other day. We was at a party. Mhm. And this one guy, I know, yeah, he's been married and but he has um several girlfriends. Okay. And so you never know who he's gonna bring to the party. But and he's asked, I guess, other women to marry him, but there's one that's there. They've been like living together about 30 years or so. I said, what you get with her? Know each other. Why? You over here trying to hit on somebody else. You did that. You know what he's saying? Because I can. Why am I not leaving that person alone? Because they still there. I could do nothing, say less, and go to my seat. I can't even argue with that. You argue with it because people are going to do what you allow them to get away with. So you're in a miserable situation. I want to check yourself. Okay. So let's talk about, so you have that potential of uncertain commitment. You should never be uncertain about what your relationship is. If you're not, if you don't know where this relationship is going and what we are doing, you need to re-examine your life. And I'm not trying to say that to be mean, serious, because the other person obviously is not thinking about that. So you ain't no welcome mat. You're not somebody who's just convenient. You don't want to be somebody's wife by or be with somebody by default. You deserve better than that. My God, you deserve so much better than that. So it's time for you to start looking at, what should I do? What do I need to do differently? And if you have children, let me tell y'all something. You got kids, because I'm gonna tell y'all, I growing up, I think I told you that it was abuse in the house. My mom had boyfriends and they were fighting. You ain't fighting my mom without, we all fight. Okay. But as me, I'm looking at this. She wouldn't let, now she's not one that was going, stay with somebody for a long, long time. Because my mom used to tell us, men are like buses. Don't worry about it. It'll be another one in 15 minutes. I'm sorry, yeah, okay. But so she had that kind of attitude, but she always picked the wrong men. And you see that growing up and you say, I don't want that type of relationship. And you don't have a good grasp or example of what a real relationship looks like, then you have to try to figure this thing out yourself. And, you know, that's a whole nother subject that we'll get into, because I'm going to be totally transparent with you guys. So right now, just talking about this, okay? So you should never feel uncertain in no relationship. If you don't know what's going on or what their intentions is, you need to check yourself, okay? Here's another con: potential or complacency. Let's stay there for a minute. Potential for complacency. Potential for complacency. What does that mean? I've been cooking your meals. I've been washing your drawers. Okay. I've been cleaning the house. I'll work. Maybe you pay some bills there. Ready booty right there at night, every night. What the heck I'm gonna get married for? But they said, like they said, why buy the cow when you get the milk for free? Why should I get married? I'm getting everything right now that I want. That's why when you move in together from the beginning, you need to set a time frame on that. Okay, we're getting married. Here's the date. But during that time, are we compatible? Because if you're not, I'm breaking this thing off. Okay. Y'all don't believe me? Tell you 50 ways to leave your lover. he went to work that night. That next morning, his sister was gone, way across town. Okay. I told you, I don't deal with crap. I don't do it. And the first time somebody check your temperature, you better burn them. You better burn them, because you know what? People will walk all over you if you don't. And if you're just staying there, why are you staying there? And now, if y'all, let me put this, because I do know some couples, they together, cohabitate, they got everything down, they build it, they got great, they are doing wonderful. Okay? They don't want to get married, they don't want to get married. They're partners for life. That's what they call it. They're partners. Okay? And marriage is really like a partner. but they don't have that certificate. But they're doing great. So not all couples or not all relationships end badly. Okay, so let me just put that out there. The ones I see, I've seen, they, they've ended pretty badly. And so I'm trying to keep you out of jail and keep you from losing a lot of stuff and having to start over. Okay. So attention for complacency. Like I said, a couple might become complacent, avoiding decisions about future goals, such as marriage, children, or financial planning, or any of those kind of things, because wow, everything's great right now. I don't have to marry this person. They're doing everything I need them to do. Why marry them? Seriously, that's how they think. So, what I'm gonna say there. And the last con I wrote down: asset and debt risk. Now, without legal representation in place, dividing assets and debts can become complicated and contentious if the relationship ends. So I said people be starting to go to jail because they're mad, they in their feelings, they hurt, and now stuff happens. Okay. So pros and cons. You figure it out. If you've been there in that relationship, you good? You good. I'm talking about the people where I've seen things go really, really wrong. Okay. And this my book, Past, Present, and Peace. Okay. And it's I got the ebook. I got the ebook. So because it's 93 pages. Okay. So you pick out what you need because it's a lot of information in here, you guys. I used to be in the medical field. So everything from the medical field that I knew, like all the way down to what's your blood type, I got in this book. Okay. If you're incapacitated, passwords, um, account numbers, what banks, what needs to be paid. So your stuff can still continue to go while you're trying to get better. Right. And we're also take all that durable power of attorney. I got all the legal documentations in here. Talk to lawyers. This covers every gap from beginning, from birth to death. Just doesn't have to be cohabitation. It could be anybody that can could use this. Why? Because one day we all gonna die. Okay. Not to just say that, not trying to be funny with that, but it's the truth. And you want to make sure that you have everything in place and that you don't make your children or your spouse have to make that decision because it's hard. I'm sorry I broke down on y'all yesterday. I mean, it's been 31 years since my mom died, but it doesn't matter. Going over that just feels like yesterday. My grandma, she did have a will. My grandma was really good about um, insurance policies and everything. And you guys, if you do not have insurance, if you do not have income coming in, say if you have an accident or if you get the diagnosis, cancer, stroke, heart attack, all that type of stuff, still need to have money coming in. Like I said, I am a life, health, and accident insurance agent. Okay. So I'm licensed in 17 different states. If you want to quote or anything, all the information to be available here. You give me a call. Okay. A week set up appointment where I can call you and talk to you about that. Okay. That's another subject. For right now, the cohabitation thing is all a choice, and we all get to make choices. And either you can stay in a situation where you're not happy, or you're just by default. I don't ever want to be nobody's woman or wife by default. Just because I ain't see nothing else out there. So I guess you'll do. I guess you're okay. Okay? I'm just saying, you're special. You're beautiful. You're special. You deserve to be treated like a queen. You deserve to be treated like a king. Because I know some women out here, women's players too now. They doing it. Got men out here crying and all kinds of stuff. So it's just not women. It's men, just not women that's being the ones that, have to make or be like, okay, I'm just waiting for him to marry, because this day and age, women ask a man to marry him. It's that age, but I'm just old fashioned. I'm just old fashioned. I'm not. No, I'm not asking that. I just believe that the man should ask the woman, because it says in the Bible, a man that find a good thing find a wife. He finds a good thing, not you, the woman, go finding him. So that's why. But if you do it, that's you. That's fine. That's cool. Okay. So I hope this helped somebody. Okay. I like to um I don't say joke a lot, but you have to laugh sometime so you won't cry. And I still ended up crying, laughing too. But life, especially right now, this world is just it's crazy. And if you read the Bible, you're like, in the last days and stuff like that. But you have to just stay prayed up and keep moving forward to what God has planned for you, because you got a purpose. And if you didn't, you still wouldn't be here. So whatever that purpose is, I hope you're seeking it. I hope you're living it. I hope you're in it, and everything. And so, and if not, always be in search of what is my purpose. God will let you know. Spend time with him. He'll let you know. Okay. So hit that subscribe button. All right. Share this video to everyone, please. Hit the like, whatever vehicle you're watching me on. And so let's build this community, so that we can support each other and empower and inspire each other, laugh with each other, because that's how I am. I'm gonna laugh. I'm gonna laugh, okay? Not laughing at you, but some things you just need to laugh and just kind of keep it going. All right. So I had a wonderful time. Hope you guys did too. So please hit like, hit share, and I will see y'all next week. What we'll be talking about next week, trust me, y'all being a big surprise. Y'all gonna be very pleased. Okay, so I will see y'all later, and have a great evening. Bye. Have a great weekend. Okay, it's Thursday tomorrow. Just go ahead. Friday. Don't all the way clock out of work. Okay, if it's Friday and you work at a car place, don't forget no parts to put in, because you're waiting for your weekend. Actually, you know what? That's a true story, though. That's a true story. Douglas Andrews, I follow him a lot. He's a financial advisor, and he talked about I think, was it Ford? I don't know which one it was, but he was saying that people wanted to buy cars that were made on a Wednesday. And it was like, why you want the car made on a Wednesday? And he broke it down. Okay, so Monday when you're coming in off the weekend, you probably half hungover, whatever. It's Monday, I don't feel like being here. So you just not you're a little slow and sloppy at the job. Okay, so Tuesday. All right, so now, okay, it's Tuesday. I'm getting in the rhythm a little bit better. Wednesday, oh, you in. Everything's good. Okay, now, yeah, you rock it. You did more stuff today than you did all week. Thursday come, slacking off a little bit, because why are you thinking about this weekend? Friday, you can hang it up. That's a piece is gonna be missing, because you're on to the weekend. Actually, that is a true story. That really is. I read that and I was like, wow. So now when I buy a car, I'm gonna definitely be like, I want a car that was uh built on a Wednesday. Okay. So it makes sense, because Monday and Tuesday, you're thinking about, you just came off the weekend, Thursday and Friday, you're thinking about the weekend. Wednesday's the only day that, everybody in the groove and doing what they got to do. Okay. So you know what? Drop some comments in the inbox if you know someone who, you know, was cohabitating and it ended badly, or if it's great, or if they had children in that relationship and one of them passed away. I've had a lot. I've had several over the past 15 years being in the life insurance industry. Um, Clients have who have passed away by car accident or by cancer, stroke, heart attack, all that kind of stuff. To um, yeah, you're gonna have to forget this pause right here because I just forgot my whole thought process right here. Pick it back up here, Nathan. Okay. But things are gonna happen. So it's not what you think about, it's all about how you handle stuff. Life is 10%. Things are I look at it this way: 90%, 10% things are gonna happen, 90% how are you gonna respond. Okay. So it's all how you respond to everything. But we want you to be safe. You can pick up my past, present, and peace workbook. The link is attached there, and it is only $29.97, y'all. Okay. It's $29.97. Okay. And so when you're talking about it's 93 pages, the ebook. And so you pull out what you need. Okay. And please, y'all, don't be taking my stuff and passing around to everybody else. It is copywritten protected. I find out I am definitely, because I do check it, I'm definitely gonna be coming after somebody. Okay. Love ya. All in love. Remember, this is a safe space to come to, but don't be stealing my stuff. Okay. So I'm not playing about that. Um, but this really does have everything, even all the way down to um, like I said, a living trust, all the way down to if you pass away, you know, to passing away, who you want at the funeral. Who don't you want at the funeral? I'm telling you, I got some detailed stuff in here. I have thought of absolutely everything. It took me a while, but absolutely everything I thought about. And I got step-by-step checklists, who you should call, first, second, third, what information you need, the social security information, if you lived in different states, to make sure that, that you've notified them if you had a job in that state and all those kind of things. You might have benefits they need to know. It's everything in this book. Okay. You cannot beat it. 29.97. Come on, get your life right. But we're gonna talk about more so is making sure that we have some life insurance. And we're gonna also talk about, I'll get into talking about, you know, we need to start thinking about us as like trust funds, okay? Having trust funds and what that means, and having a trust and uh, you know, to get away from paying all these taxes. We can do a lot of the same things that other people do, but we just don't, because we think sometimes that looking good first is better than taking care of our affairs. Okay. And other cultures look at taking care of their affairs and looking good second. Now, I'm not saying that's all of us. Okay. Not saying that, but I definitely have a lot, but 80% of my clientele don't look like me. Okay. They don't. And the people I'm trying to reach, the 20%. Like I said, don't leave your family with that burden. Okay. So hit like and share. Please leave me some comments. If you know somebody, that's where I was going earlier. If you know somebody who's living together, cohabitating, if it's working out fine, need that information. Let me know. Okay. If it ended badly, let me know. Let me know if you have children together and you're with somebody and that person passed away. How did that leave them? Again, we need to talk about having life insurance policies on the person you with if you have children with them, and you be the owner of the policy. you may have to pay for that policy. Now, no, you cannot go get a policy on a person and they don't know about it. No, you cannot. They have to sign off. But if they sign off on this, then you get all the tax benefits. You get to the type of policies I'm talking about, like the IULs, Index Universal Life policies. Now you building capital. Now you creating your own bank and everything. Okay. And so if something happens to him, your children are going to be taken care of. Plus, you got this policy here where you creating wealth. Okay, so it's I know, but we got so much we have to do. We have to do Patreon. You see, you guys are going to see Patreon on here. That's the community. Please join up there, okay? Because that's where we're going to have more information. That's where we have more guests. We'll go into depth with some more uh, topics and all those type of things. Okay, so we definitely want to make sure that we are helping each other. We are doing the best that we can do, and that we should be doing, because also the next 4 years, that's going to be a whole nother encyclopedia right there, baby. It is. It is. So nobody's coming to save you. So we need to save ourselves. Okay. So that's what we're going to do. Hey, I had a great time. Hope you guys had a great time. I will see y'all next week. All right. Share this. Send it to people that you know, everybody. The link is attached for the 3P workbook, past, present, and peace. And also, like I said, drop some comments if you know somebody who's had this situation where they was living with somebody and it went left, right, in the middle, whatever the situation may be. Or if somebody you living with had kids and that person passed away, how did that look? Because that's a bad whole situation right there. That can you we'll just talk about that some other time, because there's a lot of topics we're going to talk about. Okay. I've been trying to say bye for I don't know how long, but I'm really going to say bye this time. Peace. Love y'all. See y'all next week. Bye.